Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of F to the Fifth Power, or Five Fun Fave Finds on Friday, where I show off some of my crafty supplies that I am loving this week. Some are new supplies in general, some are new to me. The first one that I want to show you this week is the My Favorite Things Cloud Stencil. This is a really cool stencil. It's been out on the market for a while, honestly, and I just had to really think about whether I needed it or not. Turns out I did. Each edge of this stencil is cut slightly differently to give you a different type of cloud border. So you basically get 4 stencils in one. It's super easy to use. I really like using this Distress ink that I have, and I'll link this down below as well. It's the lightest blue that I own, and I think that this looks really, really good on white, smooth cardstock. So I'm just gonna blend against the stencil and then away from it just a tiny bit. So I want it to blend out, starting darkest closer to the stencil, and then as it moves out, it gets lighter. And I'm going to rotate each side so that you get to see a little peek at how these clouds are created. And I just think this is such a fun stencil to use on backgrounds. The next product I want to show you are some of the new Distress Oxide ink colors. I got several of the new colors, and I have several colors that were out previously and are new to me. So I wanted to show you kind of how it fit into the palette of the rest of the Distress Oxide ink colors that I have. So basically you can see here that I previously had Fossilized Amber as my yellow color, and now I have the Squeezed Lemonade. It's hard to tell in the video, but it's quite a bit brighter and a really true yellow, so I love that. My favorite color is blue or teal, so I tend to get all of the blues that they have. So I got Mermaid Lagoon, and you can see how that fits in with the peacock feathers and salty ocean there. Some of these colors may look close. The Broken China looks close to the peacock feathers, but there's definitely more green in there. Okay, the new one also that I got is Blueprint Sketch. You can see that's quite a bit more cobalt or brighter than the other one that I had already. I had Wilted Violet. I picked up Seedless Preserves and Shaded Lilac. I decided I did need a couple of purples in my life. So for anybody who hasn't seen, I have a ton of Distress Oxide videos, and I'll link to those here. But just for a really quick refresher, the great thing about Distress Oxide is how easily it blends. The Distress inks in general are great for creating blended backgrounds. The Distress Oxides are way easier. So definitely give those a try. Okay, the next product is Webb's Purple Tape. This is a really handy tape for crafters, and you can use it to tape down stencils like I'm going to do here. The tape is quite wide, so you can split it in two like I did and tape it down from the stencil to the background to a piece of paper underneath. You can see that it peels off very easily and doesn't ruin your project. The other way that I like to use this tape is in a die cut machine to make sure that my dies don't move around while I run them through my Sizzix machine. And even with all the pressure from the die cut machine, the tape still comes off easily and doesn't ruin the paper, and that's what you want, right? You want low tack tape that stays put but doesn't tear or ruin your project. So I am really loving this purple tape right now, and I'm gonna have to order some more from Webb. Okay, the next thing I want to show you are the Ranger Artist Brushes multi-pack. These have been out for a while, and I've had them for a while, but I never really thought about how much I really, really like them. I like all the sizes that come in this pack. It's very affordable, super affordable. So you get a bunch of different sizes in an affordable pack, and for my purposes, they were great. I'm sure if you were a true watercolor artist, you would need a much nicer brush, but for my purposes, I am basically creating watercolor backgrounds or just adding in color to stamped images, and these brushes absolutely just fit the bill for that. So I think that these are a great buy, and I think that they're really great quality. And like I said, I've had them for years and they still look great. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the Hero Arts Pigment ink in Unicorn White. Again, this is something that's been around for a while, but it's new to me. I had a different white pigment ink and I wasn't happy with it, so I went out and got this one and I love it. It's got great coverage, it's really thick, it's opaque enough that when you put it over a stencil like this, it's going to look white on even a bright pattern paper like this pink. Isn't that cool? The great thing about this pigment ink is you can also stamp with it. So of course you can do techniques and ink blending and edges and things like that, but it stamps really beautifully too. Of course it is a pigment ink, so you'll have to definitely give it some drying time or heat set it, but look at even that sub-sentiment is really clear. So that is another episode of Five Fun Fave Finds on Friday. This week we covered the My Favorite Things Cloud Stencil, the new colors of Distress Oxide Ink, the purple tape from Webb, the artist brushes from Ranger, and last but not least, the Hero Arts Unicorn White Pigment Ink. If you're interested in any of the products that I used today, they will all be linked down below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do that here. You can also check out my blog. I'll have the past episodes of this series linked here, as well as another video that you might be interested in. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.